while we're sitting here talking, you don't really watch horror movies, right? You're not kind of like
Not like that. No, I'll watch them if they're on and stuff,
right.
but yeah, not like that.
So you don't know you haven't watched like the Halloween series, right?
I've watched a few episodes of it, but
Episodes or
here and there.
movies?
Or yeah, movies. Man, forget you, man.
But
Yeah, I've seen a few of the movies. Yeah, not
so
all of them, but a few.
so I just figured while we're sitting here talking, I wanted to kind of just make a tier list of like my opinions on the movies, and we can talk about the ones that maybe you haven't seen if you're cool with that.
Yeah, that's 80% of them, but yeah, hell yeah.
So I got a tier maker list up here while I was waiting. I was like watching your screen. If you don't know, there's 13 movies in the Halloween series.
Damn.
Yeah,
All
13 of
right.
them, believe it or not. And the last one came out in 2022, which I don't know where I'm going to put that one, but it's not going to be very high. But did you want me to share my screen, or did you want? Are you cool? So you can look.
Yeah, you can share it if you want. Yeah.
Okay, let me know whenever you're in my screen.
All right, hold on one second. I'm gonna stop streaming my screen and
Sorry, sorry, man. I just want
let's blow this up, dude. All of them,
I'm gonna blow up
dog
Discord,
shit.
dude.
Nah.
All of them. Yeah, I have all of them. So yeah, you can on these tier maker lists, you can do like S tier, A tier, whatever. You can name whatever you want.
Yeah.
I just changed the last one and just made it dog shit. There are like a lot of these movies are bad, but they're good to me. I don't know. I try to find
Yeah.
like the most positive things about all of these movies. So these are all out of order. So we're just gonna kind of go.
Right.
So this one, Halloween 5. This one was made within a year of Halloween 4. Like Halloween 4 brought Michael Myers back after Halloween 2 because Halloween 3 is like its own thing. And
Okay.
this came out and this was out less than a year later. If that gives you any
Right.
indication. Yeah. And like so like in the movie, like there's just so much like weird shit. It's like so bad it's good. There's a couple scenes with cops and like whenever they're on screen, there's these like weird ass like clown noises in the background when they're talking and they're on screen.
All clear. Nothing above, nothing below.
What the fuck was that?
What the
And yeah. I'll have to show you like after this, but like yeah, like there's clown noises when they're on and like from Halloween 4 to Halloween 5, the little girl turns into a mute and like she stops talking for like 3/4 of the movie. And like the end of Halloween 4, I mean, the spoilers, I guess, but you know, these are 30-year-old movies, so whatever. But
At
like
this point.
the little girl, they try to make it seem like she's gonna be the new antagonist because she ends up stabbing her stepmom. Because this little girl is, have you seen the first one?
The very first one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
with like
Yeah.
Laurie Strode and stuff. So this is supposed to be Laurie Strode's daughter, and Laurie Strode died in
Okay.
a car wreck off screen in between Halloween 2 and Halloween 4.
Well,
So
I guess she ain't gonna be in Halloween 4 or whatever. She ain't gonna be in Rush Hour 3.
she,
Damn.
but this is supposed to be her uncle basically, and she
Okay.
gets like some kind of weird psychic like link between him, and like it's just all out of nowhere pretty much, and it just seems like they just threw some shit together, and like there's like this weird like Man in Black thing, and like if you look in the beginning there's this like mark on Michael Myers' wrist that was never there before. Like they just threw a bunch of shit into a blender and like spewed it out because Halloween 4 was so
So, so
successful.
it sounds like it's a hard C or a hard dog shit. That's what
because
it seems.
because it's like so bad it's good, I'm gonna put it in the C tier. Like it's not
Yeah.
good, but it's not like something that I go back and rewatch. Like I have all the 4Ks from this era, but I'm gonna put it in C only because like I can get a kick out of how bad it is, and it's kind of
Yeah.
almost like a guilty pleasure. But
So you almost at that point, we'll get further in the list, but at that point, I don't know if you can get pleasure out of it. I feel like it should move up to like B.5. Like
yeah,
if there was a B.5, I mean, if it's enjoyable even a little bit, maybe B. But
I mean, it is kind of boring because like his mask looks all fucking weird. If you look his mask up in this movie, he looks like Mark Zuckerberg. Like I bullshit you not. His mask straight up looks like. Hold on, let me.
he's about to, he's gonna zuck somebody.
See?
Yeah. What the fuck?
He looks like fucking Mark Zuckerberg. I
Yeah,
don't-
what the?
like they switched it
That
up.
bottom right one, that bottom right one, that kind of looks like Nicolas Cage a little bit. I need to lie to you.
But it's like it's so
What?
fucking weird. Like I don't understand it. But like and just like he just like walks all funny. Like he's like constantly holding his knife up in the air, like walking around like look at my knife. This is my knife. Like
Yeah.
he just like walking, just like showing. Like it was so goofy, and like I don't know. It's not even the same house that was in the original one. Like they went
So
and
let
like
me
they redid
let me
it.
put you onto a theory real quick.
Oh,
Has Nicolas Cage ever held a knife in any of his other movies? And if he's never held a knife in any of his movies, that's why he's constantly holding it up. He's like,
it's
"Oh
like,
shit, I've
fuck, what
never
do I do
seen
with
this
this?
before."
What do I
Yeah,
do with it?
exactly. All right, we've got it.
Yeah, but like, so that I'm gonna just stick
Smite.
it in C, just because like it's bad,
Yeah.
but it's not like I don't audibly groan whenever it
We'll
comes
we'll
on.
stick it in C for the Michaelis Cage theory we're
Yeah.
working on here. All right.
Now, Halloween H2O, this movie retconned.
I've heard about this one.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot about this one.
It retconned 3, like I said, 3 is its own thing, but it retconned 4, 5, and 6. And it goes back to after Halloween 2. And she's like traumatized from it 20 years later. She's moved from Haddonfield to California. She teaches at this like private school, and
Still
she's
got
got a
Curtis in it,
son.
right?
Huh?
That's still got Jamie Lee Curtis in it, right? Is
Yeah,
that who
she
I'm
came
saying?
back
Okay,
for this
okay.
one, and it retcons this whole like 4, 5, and 6. Like it retcons all of that.
So
Nick
okay, go ahead.
Nicolas Cage is not in this.
Michaelis Cage has died.
Yes,
Okay,
he doesn't
good to
exist
know.
in this thing. But this was like after Scream came out. Do you know, like from '96, and like they kind of like redid like the whole thing with like meta horror and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it has a really big different feel from like the rest of these. But this was one of
Right.
the first horror movies that I saw. My sister watched it,
Okay.
and she so I have a lot of nostalgia with it. It's not a bad movie. It just doesn't feel like all the other ones. But I like it
Right.
more than I like a lot of the other movies. Like I can sit back and watch this. I like Jamie
So should
Lee's-
we put this one in the B column because it retcons the other shitty Michaelis Cage
Yeah.
movies? Okay,
I'm gonna put it- I'm gonna
I
put
feel it.
that-
I feel.
I'm gonna put it in B only because like she's more believable with being traumatized in this one than in Halloween 2018. You know what I mean?
So that would mean if we're putting that one there, that would mean Halloween 4's got to go in C as well, just automatically.
I like Halloween 4.
Fuck.
Yeah, but the only thing that kind of like I don't like about H2O is the end. Have you heard about the end of the movie?
No.
So she like gets in the ambulance, like she steals the ambulance after Michael's supposedly dead, and he gets up and she like slams the brakes on, and he like ejectocitos out of the front seat of the truck, and she runs him over, and he gets pinned in between this car and a tree. Like he rolls down this hill, and he gets pinned, and he like tries to reach out for her, and then like she straight up like chops his head off.
Damn.
Yeah.
So
But,
what?
again, spoiler.
Spoiler alert.
Halloween Resurrection explains why he's back, and if we get to that, I'll tell you why. But
Okay.
that's one of the reasons I hate, because they knew they were going to do that when they started making this movie, and that's why I'm just like, what the fuck, dude. So that's the only reason. Halloween 6, I'm going to put this in C tier only because, again, it's like one of those Halloween movies where it's so bad it's good. There's 2 versions of this movie.
Okay.
There's the producer's cut, which I think was the first one that came out, and then audiences were like,
that was the Zack Snyder cut.
yeah. Like,
Before there was a Zack Snyder cut.
yeah, and it was like, I think audience scores came out and they were like, man, this is bullshit, like this is really dumb. So they went back and they remade it, and they made it the theatrical cut. There's one that more focuses on this little thorn thing that was on his wrist in 5, that more dives into like the whole cult thing that was in this trilogy, and the theatrical cut is more like the kills and the gore. It does have like
Right.
one of the best kills in the series, where this guy, I can't remember, I haven't watched it in a while, but I think he gets pressed up against like a machine and he's starting to get electrocuted, or Michael's like holding him, and his head explodes. It's fucking sick.
Oh wow.
Like
That's
it's
funny.
like he starts foaming at the mouth, and then he just fucking, his head just blows up. It's fucking sick. But-
Impossibly dope.
and
Pretty much.
yeah, and it's Paul Rudd's very first movie he was in.
Oh no shit. Okay.
Yeah, here,
The Ant-Man himself. Maybe he didn't blow up. Maybe he just got really small.
here, I'll show you.
Maybe he was Ant-Man before.
See?
What a dude.
Yeah, it was.
Look at him, bro.
He still looks the same. He has.
He does. How the fuck does he not age, dude?
I don't know,
Here's our
man.
second conspiracy theory of the video. Paul Rudd doesn't age.
I know. It's,
Here we go.
But I don't know. It's not one
Forget
that
him,
I
dude.
typically go back to. But if I'm in the mood, like it has a really good like Halloween feel. Like it just kind of has that ambiance of Halloween, which
Right.
I mean, I kind of dig. You know, I like to watch a lot of YouTube videos about Halloween movies way too early before Halloween. You know me, dude. I fucking hate summertime because you know we both work
Summer,
outside.
summer sucks,
I
dude.
can't, dude. It's so hot. I can't stand it. So this just gets when I watch like YouTube videos about like Halloween and stuff. It just gets me all happy and giddy. Like I'm just like I'm ready to get back to
Yeah,
the cooler.
I'm ready to fill my ass with leaves, pretty much.
So,
Hell yeah.
but yeah, Halloween 4, I'm gonna put up in the B tier because
Yeah.
it. I think it's like a little like a well-known fact that like they tried to retread and kind of remake the first one, but only switch a couple of things up, and it did that really good. Like you know they have the little girl that is she's being teased because she's an orphan and because they know that Michael Myers is her uncle. Not
Hell yeah, dude.
yeah, they make fun of her for being a fucking orphan. Like I know kids are cruel, but God.
They-
Yeah. And like I don't if you ever want to like get in the spirit of fall, just like watch like the opening credits to this. Like it's just got that Midwest feel of like pre-made decorations, you know, like stuff you
Hell
didn't
yeah.
that people didn't buy at the store, like they kind of made themselves. And it's just
That's how I
got-
feel watching the first one. The first one makes me feel like it's Halloween. Like
Yeah. So that's exactly. But like that's my favorite intro of the series is the
Okay.
first like because it's got like the bright luminescent orange, you know, credits going. There's just like an
Yeah.
ominous music that's playing. It's really cool. It's really good. I like 4. Michael Myers masks look really dumb though. Like again, I'm gonna show you this real quick.
Here we go.
So this is his mask in the first one, as you know, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he
So-
looks pretty fucking dope.
Here's him in 4.
Oh yeah, I remember this one. Yeah, because
Yeah.
it looks like they took just another dude. So if you go to the third row, fourth picture over, third row, go down one more.
Oh shit.
Fourth pick, that one.
Yeah.
That looks like you just took his mask and you just put it on somebody just that doesn't even fit in it. Like
Yeah.
you put an extra large mask on a extra small man.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know.
But like I don't
It's just
know.
a little weird.
The mask throws me off in this movie like really bad.
Yeah.
But not enough to the where I'm like pissing and groaning about it. And
Right.
they say like a lot of people online they'll say like, well, you know, he had to get all of his stuff back and he just got the mask from a department store. That's why it looks really shitty. Which makes sense. Like I get it, but it's like, come on, you could make it look like a little bit like
Yeah, I mean that was a mass-produced mask. That was because that
Yeah,
was
exactly.
that was a cat. Who was that? That was Star Trek, but who was it? Wasn't it like
Captain Kirk.
yeah, Captain Kirk?
Right.
Yeah, mass-produced mask. Yeah, I
Well,
can
it
get
was
that.
It was a William Shatner.
It's one of those. It's one of those guys. May the force be
It's-
with you type shit. You know.
Yeah. So, but I don't know. I like these little group movies more than probably a lot of people do. A lot of people have this one like all the way down in dog shit. But
Dog water.
I'm gonna
Just all the way down.
I'll explain why, but I'm putting Halloween Ends right in dog shit. I fucking hated Halloween Ends.
We're just jumping right into it. We gotta
We
have
are.
something in dog
Dude,
shit. It's
I'll-
making us uncomfortable.
I fucking
I'm
hated
shaking
that.
right
I was
now.
so excited. Do you remember how like I was like constantly like hyping this movie up?
You were hype.
Dude,
you were definitely
I was
hype.
so excited because it was like, oh, it's the final showdown with Laurie Strode and Michael Myers. And then the movie came out. I think I remember I messaged you whenever it was over. I was like, this was fucking awful. It's like Michael
Yeah,
Myers.
you were texting me in the movie theater. I thought because you were
No,
like,
we didn't go to the theater. We watched it on Peacock because
okay.
I think my girlfriend
I remember you
wasn't
telling
feeling
me
good
something.
or
I remember
something.
you telling me something about halfway through the movie. You were like, "Turn this dog shit off"
Yeah,
or something like
dude,
that.
I fucking hated this movie. Like Michael Myers doesn't show up until like minute 50, and it's like an hour. It's like an hour and 45-minute movie.
Yeah,
And
I actually
he does-
watched a breakdown just because you were raving about it. I watched a breakdown of Halloween Ends,
Yeah.
and like even the guy, every person I watched that did a breakdown of it was like, "Yes, this is probably the worst movie in the Halloween franchise." I was like,
Yeah,
"God damn!"
it's like
Like-
the only good thing about this movie, I think, is the DJ booth scene because he gets
The DJ
fucked up, and like I thought that
I
was
don't
cool.
remember that one.
But like, it's only in dog shit because it disappointed me so much. I wanted it to be so much more, and it was like
Yeah.
they had like this Laurie Strode and Michael Myers thing. It was like sidelined for this like Lifetime movie between Allison, which is her granddaughter, and Corey, this dude that shows up in this movie, in this trilogy. And it's the only time, and then nothing happens. Like he ends up getting killed by I think Yeah, he stabs himself like in the neck or something like that after she shoots him, and then Michael comes through and snaps his neck. And it was like there was no build up. It was like he was gonna be the new Michael Myers, but then Michael Myers came through and then just ended it. And there was no point in having him in the movie. It was just all filler, so they could have a 20-minute, not even 20 minutes. I'm gonna say like 15 minutes of just them fighting. The whole shit before was just filler.
Worthless. Absolutely worthless.
Like Michael Myers, like I understand, like he was hiding in a sewer because he got fucked up at the end of Halloween Kills, but he got up at the end of Halloween Kills and fucking killed like 15 people.
Yeah.
But then he goes back and he hides in the sewer. I understand it. It just disappointed me. I felt.
I think the whole. I
almost want to
the
say.
Whole.
Go ahead.
I was going to say the whole thing that I think I got from a lot of the breakdowns is because from the Halloween Kills, I watched Halloween Kills breakdown and then I watched Ends breakdown. I think what the whole thing that the guy was getting at is that those movies were more so about like the, what do you call it? The evil spirit, like the I don't know what to say. It's not it's like the haunting part of it, the ethereal part. I don't know how to say it, but it's not so much about like Michael Myers. It's the supernatural. That's the word I'm looking for. It was more about the supernatural shit, and like the deity that he like worships was like forgetting about him, or saying fuck you in Halloween Kills.
Yeah,
and then in Halloween Ends, like apparently he was supposed to be like redeemed or some shit. I don't know,
but
it was weird.
Halloween Ends it was just a big disappointment. And like a lot of arguments is like, oh well, Michael Myers isn't really in the first one all that much, but he's still the main focus. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just seems like that they sidelined him for this Corey character and this love story between him and Allison.
Michael Myers got fridged. He got fridged.
He did. And it just like, even like me and my girlfriend just like both looked at her and like, this is fucking awful. Like I couldn't wait until it was over because like I was expecting so much more, and the fact that it disappointed me so much is the reason why I think it's dog shit, because it just
absolute dog water. Dude, get your life together.
Like, I mean, I bought it because I have all of them. Like, I don't know if I've showed you, but I have
at that point, it's just to complete your collection, not because you like it.
Yeah. Maybe I need to rewatch it. I don't know, but when I watched it, I was like, I can't. Like, I haven't watched it since. Like, I just, I don't. Oh God, it was so disappointing.
Absolutely awful. Yeah. Can we just go ahead and put Halloween, the first one, in like A tier or S tier? Because that one's so fucking good. There's no argument
to say about that. Like that one.
Yeah, that's such a classic.
It's the right mix of horror, suspense, blood, boobies.
That's the beginning. It's like when the thought of this movie was fresh in their mind. That's when they nailed it, and they should have just stayed on that path. But
when they first came up with this movie idea, it was supposed to be called The Babysitter Murders. Like Halloween had nothing to do with it, and they started going back. Okay, we're back. Sorry, Starlink fucked me. My router did an update and kicked me off the internet. So we're back. We were talking about the first Halloween, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. So you said this is like one of the only ones that you saw.
I've seen a couple of them, but mainly, just that one was. That was the only one that I really, really remember, just because I watched it a bunch. It was always on TV, stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, if you saw the one on TV, you probably saw the couple extra scenes that's not in the actual like home release. Because when they made Halloween 2, they added a couple scenes for the first one because they needed an extra like 20 minutes to make it like a 2-hour like TV thing. There's really not much more to say about the
timeless classic. One. It has to be top tier.
I watch it like every year, multiple times.
It's the tradition.
It is like but so to recap, so we're about halfway through. Classic H2O is on the B for nostalgic purposes, but the ending pissed me off. Halloween 4 was a good return. Halloween 5 was just weird, boring, clown cop shit. The Curse of Michael Myers was just all over the place, and Halloween Ends was just disappointing dog shit. Another thing about Halloween Ends I probably should have told you before my internet cut out is Laurie Strode, like, she let that shit bother her for 40 years, and you're not really worried about like spoilers for these movies, are you?
Oh, not really, no.
Okay, so at the end of Halloween Kills, her daughter gets killed, right?
Okay.
And she let this shit. She says like she let it bother her for 40 years, but then her daughter gets killed at the end of Halloween Kills, and then like in Halloween Ends, the first thing she's like, oh well, I'm not gonna let it bother me anymore. So she's let her friends being murdered 40 years ago bother her more than her own daughter getting killed.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
And
For
like
the sake of continuity,
yeah,
they
and
screwed
it
that.
just dude, like it was just such a, it was so disappointing. I can't stop talking about how much I hate Halloween Ends. Like, but okay, we're gonna go on to Halloween 3, and you're about to go on a wild ride. So
Yes.
if you've never seen this,
I think I have.
you have. Well, I'm putting this all the way up here. I fucking love this movie, but in case you don't remember, bear with me, because this movie is something. So I'm going to try to break it down for you in the most easy way I can. Robots and technology with witchcraft in the computer age.
Okay. Oh yeah.
So this has nothing to do with Michael Myers. When Halloween 2 came out, John Carpenter was like done with Michael Myers. He's like, I want to do something different. And he had signed on to do Halloween 3 only if he could make it an anthology movie. So the idea with Halloween 3 and going forward was to make a different story every year. And if it was successful in the box office, they could branch out and make, you know, other like films, TV shows, movies, whatever. But the distributor company didn't have a lot of faith in it. They didn't really push it very hard. So people went in there seeing Halloween 3 and they were expecting Michael Myers, and he wasn't in the movie. So for the longest time, people hated this movie because he wasn't in it. And I was one of those people because, you know, I'm a big Michael Myers fan. I watched this for the first time like 3 years ago, and I liked it. And then I watched it again and I started falling in love with it. Halloween 3 is probably one of my favorite movies in the Halloween series. There's a dude named Connell Cochran, and he's making these Halloween masks that use Stonehenge. And apparently his goal is to inject this rock into the microchips of these masks that he's making, and it basically turns these kids' heads into bugs and snakes and stuff, and it just kills them. And he's yeah. So he's like, oh, it's a joke on the children. And
I do love a good joke, and this is the best ever. A joke on the children.
blah blah blah. And he goes
Hell of
on
a joke, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but like he goes into like
It's
this
a prank, dude. It's a prank.
It's a
Can you
prank,
imagine?
it's a prank. Oh my, yeah. This was like YouTube pranks back in the 80s before.
Yeah.
Goofy, but it's good, fun Goofy, not like irritatingly bad Goofy.
Right.
It's like I watch it all the time. My girlfriend hates it because she's one of those people that's like, oh, Michael Myers isn't in it. But it's one of those movies. Like, I'm just gonna put it like this: witchcraft in the computer age. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm not even going to give spoilers because I feel like this is one that you want to watch. I mean, you pretty much already got spoiled by it, but it's still a fun watch. But I'm going to say 50-year-olds hooking up with 20-year-olds, robots, a kid getting his head crushed in with snakes and bugs, and probably one of the best antagonists of the 80s. Like, Connell Cochran, he's a super, like, if I could rank antagonists, he would definitely be at the top. I really like his performance.
You don't really know much about Halloween. You thought no further than the strange custom of having your children wear masks and go out begging for candy. It was the start of the year in our old Celtic lands, and we'd be waiting in our houses of wattles and clay. The barriers would be down, you see, between the real and the unreal. And the dead might be looking in to sit by our fires of turf. Halloween. The festival of Samhain. The last great one took place 3,000 years ago, and the hills ran red.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, Halloween 3 is one of those movies that I fucking love. And I definitely plan on keeping it in my collection. Like I said, I got the 4K for it, and it'll always stay like neck and neck with the top. Hey, what up? We're talking about Halloween movies. You want to join in?
I have not seen any of them all the way through to completion.
Fuck yes.
So he's
will
the
be
candidate.
This will be good for you then, because we're doing a tier list. S tier, the original and Halloween 3. B tier, we have Halloween H2O and Halloween 4. C tier, we have Halloween 5 and The Curse of Michael Myers. And dog shit, we have Halloween Ends.
Halloween Ends is the newest one.
Yeah, it's the newest
And it's
one,
dog
and
shit.
I fucking hated it. Halloween 2018, I'm gonna put up in the A tier.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Is that the one where like the trailer for the movie was like him in an insane asylum?
Yeah, I mean that's
Okay,
a lot
that
of-
movie was pretty sick.
Yeah, this was basically the sequel to this. So the first Halloween is 78. This is basically the sequel to this. It retcons everything besides, like, you know, Halloween 2 never existed. Halloween 3 is, like I said, its own thing. None of these other movies existed. It went straight from here to here. And it cut the whole, like, family thing. So, like, in the original one and the Halloween 2 is where you find out that Michael Myers and Laurie Strode are related. This cuts that. So there's no more family relation. So now he's just back to being a regular mindless killer who'll just kill anyone. And that was one of the things that they wanted to bring back, because they said that he wasn't as scary with the family thing. And I kind of agree, because if you're not anywhere in the relation to the family, then you're fine. But if he's just a mindless killer, then you can get fucked. Pretty much.
Yeah, anybody can get it.
And
at that point, he's got hands for everybody. Ready to eat.
And then this movie, he does. There's like one of the best shots in the movie. It's like a 2-minute non-cut scene. Like, it's just one continuous roll of him walking down the road and picking up a knife. He's walking down through like the neighborhood and everything else. And it ends with him kind of breaking into a chick's house and stabbing her in the back of the neck. And it's like one continuous shot.
Oh my god.
That was probably one of my favorite shots of the movie. The only thing I don't like about this is the little bit of comedy they try to throw in. Because Danny McBride co-wrote this with David Gordon Green, and we all know Danny McBride is like one of the comedy guys. Mm-hmm. So there are little bits of like comedy thrown here, and I don't like that. Especially like there's a scene where little kid's going to sleep, and the babysitter ends up trying to get the closet door shut, and it's Michael Myers, and like there's a comedy bit where the kid's like, oh shit, and then he jumps out of the bed and he runs.
Can you close the closet door? Yeah. Oh shit!
Dickie!
You got there! You're gonna get killed, Dave!
And it's like, I don't like that in a Halloween movie. Like, I feel like that
The kid said, "Oh shit, a rat."
yeah, and I don't know. It didn't hit for me. It didn't land for me. And I don't really like how Laurie Strode is. She kind of, it's almost like, come on, like 40 years, like really, you know what I mean? And like she's like a gunslinger, which is fine. You know, I don't care about that. It just seems like she was more believable in H2O, where she was a little bit more traumatized. But like 40 years have gone by, and she still like lets it bother her every day. Like it ruined her family. Like her daughter doesn't let her see her granddaughter, and like kind of like shuns her from the family and all this other stuff. And
It's like big Terminator vibes. With,
yeah,
what's
like
her name?
that's what a lot of people said, is like she's like Sarah Connor.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, I've watched 2018 a
The
lot.
toaster's gonna fucking kill us.
Well, in 2018, I remember watching the 2018 one. I always thought it was funny because like that's the one, if I remember correctly, where like the it's such a cliche thing, but like one of the girls finds out her boyfriend is like cheating on her at like a party or something.
Yeah.
And then they're killed. Like, dang.
Well,
F in the chat for those
no,
guys. Like,
well, no. I know exactly what you're talking about. He doesn't get killed. Spoiler, I guess, in 2018. That's another. He gets offed in another movie. His friend gets killed in 2018. It's the where he's in the yard and he's talking, and he ends up getting impaled through the jaw because Michael lifts him up, or he's trying to climb over the fence, and I think, if I remember correctly, Michael Myers like grabs him and pulls down, and like the gate thing kind of like goes through his jaw and it kills him.
Jeez.
But yeah, Halloween 2018 is definitely up there. Like I said, there's just a couple of things I don't like that doesn't make it a classic. I think The Mask looks on par with the regular
the
one.
Mask is sick. I really like.
I went and I pre-ordered. I don't know if you remember that. I pre-ordered The Mask from Spirit Halloween when it came out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And then they lost it, and then I just got a refund, and then it was hard to find for a while. Yeah. We ended up getting it again, but it took another year. Yeah, 2018 is a good one. Rob Zombie's Halloween, I'm guessing between C and dog shit, because
C and dog shit.
Yeah. I'll put it in C. Only because
I don't remember enough of that movie to give it a rating.
Yeah, well,
or to assist in this.
Rob Zombie's Halloween, the first act of the movie is a straight up like Rob Zombie film, if you know what that means. Like, it's nothing but like crude like motherfuckers and goddamn it and I'm gonna fucking fuck you and like all this like just redneck ass talking. And
Christ, Ronnie, you know I have to fucking work tonight. Somebody around here's got to make some money.
I'm all broken up here, bitch. I can't work. She's over at the bingo lounge. She can give me the freaky eye.
Oh, the whore with the big tits hanging down to her knees?
Maybe I'll choke the chicken, purge my snorkel all over them flappy ass tits. Bitch, I will crawl over there and I will skull fuck the shit out of you.
Oh, I'll get the crutches for you.
That's all that fucker does is cry. Crying shit, crying shit.
Just like you, that's all you do is cry.
Fuck you and sit on my pole right now, bitch. Man, that bitch got herself a nice little dumper. Ass, huh? Ah! You fucking whore! All right, now clean it up.
And all this other shit, and it takes it to a whole nother level, you know. And it's just uncomfortable to watch at times. Like, they try to give Michael a backstory as to why he is the way he is, but it's just like cliche, like, oh, I just grew up in a shitty family and blah blah blah. But
so that's the one that came out in 2009,
2007.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I see here. Yeah.
I don't really have a whole lot to say about that one. It's when it becomes the remake of John Carpenter's, it gets okay. The ending was just like kind of sudden, but I mean, I still kind of dig it. He like runs at her and like spears her like Goldberg, and she ends up finding a gun.
Yeah.
And he like tries to grab it, and she shoots him in the face, and the movie ends.
Oh, is that like when they're in their front yard?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
So, but I don't really have a whole lot to say about it. I don't.
And then he fucking lives.
Yeah, and it's never explained why. It's kind of weird. I'm not a huge fan of Rob Zombie's movies, only because of the dialogue that he has. Like, he writes his own movies and stuff, and it's like, dude, you can't write a movie for shit. Please, it's because when he does, it's just that white trash trailer park deep south slang talk, and it's just I've seen enough of it. I live in the bumpkin country, so it's like I see enough of it in real life. I don't want to see it in movies. I don't know, but I don't really go back to that one very often because this one's better.
I hate white people. Moving on. All right. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
Halloween Kills, the plot is dog shit, but I'm putting it in the B tier because the kills are fucking amazing and it's entertainingly bad. They had that whole "Evil Dies Tonight" chant. I don't know if you've seen that. Yeah, and
I remember that. Yeah,
it makes no sense. It's just a filler movie. Like, there's really no crazy plot. It's just more of just Michael got out of the burning house at the end of 2018 and he's just gonna go on a rampage. And I will say that the firefighter scene is probably my favorite in that movie, only because like the way he walks out of the front door, just kind of like, it's like, yes, like I'm reinvigorated, I'm pissed, and I'm mad. And he just like, and he goes on a fucking rampage in this movie, hence the title. And for that reason alone, it goes in the B tier, only because watching the kills are just like entertaining. There's one kill, which I don't know if you've seen it, but this chick in a nurse outfit, she ends up like escaping from a car and she like disappears for like 2 minutes of the scene, and she comes back shooting at Michael Myers, and he kicks the door. She gets real close, he kicks the door and it like pops her in the head or in the wrist, I'm sorry, and she turns the gun around and she pulls the trigger and blasts herself in the face and she dies.
mean what you say. That you only meant well, 'cause you did.
And like everyone said that's like super goofy, but I thought it was pretty cool just because it's like who would think of to do something like that? Halloween Kills is probably of the trilogy, I've watched this one the most for the kills by themselves. The plot is stupid, but the Evil Dies Tonight stuff is dumb, but it's still entertaining to me only because I'm a Carnage Candy freak. I love to watch like the blood and gore. There's a scene where there's a guy, a gay couple, Big John and Little John, and they moved into Michael Myers' house, and he ends up, coming in through the back door, and he comes across Big John and like takes his fingers and like gouges his eyes out. And there's so much like blood and like goo and like all this stuff. Like it's sick. And for some reason I fucking love it. I don't know.
Wait till he runs into Little John and they break out. And
Yay! He was, yeah. But that's the thing, man. Like the people in Halloween Kills are fucking dumb. Like there's like in the beginning, there's one dude that gets killed in his house, and then the woman tries to run away. But as soon as she sees Michael come in through the kitchen, she like cowers down, and she only had like 2 locks to unlock left, and she would have been out of the house and running free. But she just like cowers down, and like Laurie Strode's in the hospital for most of the movie. And this is the movie where that girl's boyfriend gets killed. They go to try to find him, and he gets pressed up against like the stair railing. It gets broken, and he shoves his neck into the rail and then comes down the stairs and twists his neck. Like Michael Myers is at his most brutal in Halloween Kills.
I think one of my out of all the movies, I think one of my favorite scenes was with the and I forget which movie it's in, but I remember that there was a camera tripod with the camera that like you get to watch like the first person perspective of the kid getting stabbed with it.
Yeah,
that was probably one of my favorite ones. I don't remember which one that was in.
And I'm gonna hurt your feelings, but this is going straight into dog shit.
Straight into trash.
Well,
territory.
Remember how I was saying how like Halloween H2O, the ending got fucked up? So
yeah.
There is a clause in Mustafa Akkad, he owns the rights to Halloween. There's a clause in his rights where Michael Myers cannot actually be killed. There always has to be room for sequels. So when they made Halloween H2O and they cut his neck off, they knew from the jump that it wasn't really going to be dead. So what they try to do in this is they try to say that off screen, Michael Myers attacked a paramedic and crushed his larynx so he couldn't talk, and then switched his clothes out. And that's who was in the car, and that's who Laurie Strode killed. So the beginning of the movie, Laurie Strode's in a hospital because she went crazy for killing the wrong person. And that pisses me off to no end because like they knew when they made H2O that was going to happen. So it just kind of like, when I watch these, sometimes I don't even act like Halloween Resurrection exists because H2O was the perfect ending and they fucked it up with Halloween Resurrection. Plus you got Busta Rhymes in here who does like karate. Like karate moves and stuff like that, and he kills, quote unquote, kills Michael Myers by electrocuting his dick.
Let's go.
And he really does the whole trick or treat motherfucker line.
Jesus.
Like the whole movie is just cringy. Like if you don't know, like it's basically like
hell of a rapper,
Rhymes,
not a good actor.
Yeah, Busta Rhymes and Tyra Banks stars, or they're like the leaders of this thing called Dangertainment. And it's like a reality show thing. And they get these people to stay one night in Michael Myers' house. And in the beginning, I keep bouncing around, but in the beginning of Halloween Resurrection, it's like 15 minutes because Jamie Lee Curtis was like, okay, well, I'll be in Halloween Resurrection, but you're going to kill me off. So she's in the thing and they end up fighting and going up to the roof, and Laurie Strode gets Michael Myers like tied up. And because of what happened at the end of H2O, she goes to take his mask off because she wants to be sure it's who it is. Like, I don't know who else would be fucking chasing you up the stairs and trying to stab you. But, I mean, go off. And
Go off, queen.
He tricks her and ends up, like, flipping her over the roof and stabbing her in the chest. And she's like, she kisses him and like, I'll see you in hell. And then she falls off and she dies. And that was up until Halloween 2018, that was the end of Laurie Strode. Just like a quick, like, haha, got you, bitch, twist and stabbed her in the neck, and that was it.
Hell yes.
Like, Halloween Resurrection just shit on everything good that H2O did, and that's why it's in dog shit. It's really cringy. I don't know. I've never, Michael Myers getting shocked in the balls. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, like what the hell?
Yeah.
By Busta Rhymes of all people.
Yeah.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
And like, there's another part in Resurrection where he dresses up as Michael Myers, Busta Rhymes, and comes across the actual Michael Myers and just starts berating Michael Myers, like, "Oh, I'm supposed to be Michael Myers. Who the fuck are you?" Blah blah blah. And instead of killing him, because Busta Rhymes like needed to survive, Michael Myers just looks at him and turns around and walks away.
It was in his contract. He had to live.
I guess like it was.
He had a
so
certain number of
bad.
screen time, like minutes, he had to achieve.
Something like
so
that.
you could be labeled as an actor too,
Yeah, I
instead of
guess.
just
But
a
he was
rapper.
in the majority of the movie. Tyra Banks didn't make it very far, but I mean, you know.
You know.
Whatever. But yeah, Halloween Resurrection's dog shit. Halloween 2, I'm gonna put in the A tier. I like it more than some of the other ones. It's a straight continuation. Like, you can watch Halloween 1 and 2 back to back and it feels like the same movie. Laurie Strode only has like a minute of dialogue. It's just basically Michael Myers finding her in the hospital and she just runs away. Michael Myers is kind of robotic. He breaks through a glass pane just by walking through it, I guess because he's trying to get to Laurie Strode. I don't know. But Laurie Strode doesn't have anything to do in this movie. Halloween 2 is enjoyable. It's more gory than the original. The mask on Michael Myers in this one doesn't fit the actor right because it was different people. So like the mask looks different between the first and second one because Deborah Hill, John Carpenter's girlfriend at the time, was a big smoker and she kept the mask from the movie like under her bed and she like smokes, so it's got like a yellowish tint to it and it doesn't fit the new actor's face very well, so you can see his eyes more and it just looks like it's like super stretched out.
Jesus.
That was like pretty much the only gripes I had, but it was still a good movie. I can still watch it. I'm not saying it's bad. It just doesn't look like the same Michael Myers, and if it's supposed to be the same night, I feel like they should have tried to at least make it look like the same. But I mean, shit happens. And Halloween 2, I'm gonna put it in C tier because everyone hates this movie because they made Michael Myers talk in the director's cut movie, which is like basically the only one you can find anymore, and everyone hated it because all he did was he like stabbed Dr. Loomis and just told him and just said die.
Michael, for God in heaven, die!
And then killed him off. But I'm putting it in C tier and not dog shit because at least like Rob Zombie got the okay from Mustafa Akkad's son, Malik Akkad, because Mustafa Akkad died in 2005.
Damn.
Yeah, he was involved in a terrorist attack or something like that, and him and his daughter got killed or something like that. I can't remember if that's true or not. I'll look it up after this is done. But he got creative freedom to do whatever he wanted with Halloween 2. So the only reason it's not in dog shit is because it tried different. It was different. It wasn't like the same rinse and repeat thing. Like,
right.
But like most of the movie's dog shit, but I'm just giving it some credit for trying some new stuff. There's this white horse analogy throughout the movie that can go fuck itself. It's stupid and makes no sense throughout the whole movie. The mask is like all ripped and torn and tattered, which I thought was, pretty neat. A lot of people say they didn't like it, but then like in the movie, he only puts the mask on when he's about to kill someone. Like he walks like without his mask on, and then whenever he's gonna kill someone, he puts his mask on. So it kind of gives it like a symbol of something. Again, it's a Rob Zombie film, so I don't really go back to it all that often, but I do think that it tried different things. It gets a little bit of credit. I don't know. There's a very few people that actually really like this movie. I just think it's okay. It's not horrible. It's not great. It's just very okay.
Right.
I'll even go as far as to just say meh. Cause like
meh.
Yeah. It just has the creativeness that I kind of wish some of the other movies would have, but they don't. But that's my tier list pretty much. Yeah. The original Halloween, Halloween 3 are classics. Halloween 2 and Halloween 2018 are A tiers for me. B tier is H2O, Halloween 4 and Halloween Kills. And then C tier, Halloween 5, Curse, from the Rob Zombie movies. And dog shit is Halloween Ends and Halloween Resurrection. And again, I put Halloween Ends in dog shit because it was so disappointing to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it just, I'm probably
it might be worth a revisit later on. And
maybe.
see,
I mean, I'm thinking about having like a weekend where I sit back and watch them all again. Cause like I got the Scream Factory 4K up to Halloween Resurrection. These two I don't think have gotten a 4K release. And then I have the 4K of 2018 Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends. I might have to sit back and watch them. This tier list might change, but
Yeah.
this is pretty much how I feel. I'm pretty comfortable with putting everything like this for me personally. Yeah. I know I'm probably going to get some shit for Halloween Ends being in dog shit, because there's people that actually like it, and I mean that's fine. Yeah. I didn't like it.
I've heard of a lot of people that do like it, and yeah. I know that like I've watched a few videos about it because I knew that. I remember like you were frustrated, and I was trying to figure out why without going to see it. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna watch a few breakdown videos and see what I can deduce from it.
Yeah.
And like the way that the people explained it that I was watching it like. I don't know, it seems like they were leaning real heavy into the spirituality, the evil, the supernatural stuff. Like, it seems like they were just leaning really heavy into that.
But that's the thing. They tried to make Michael Myers human in David Gordon Green and Danny McBride's trilogy. They were trying to humanize him more. And then in Halloween Ends, you know, the character, his name's Corey. He gets tossed off a bridge and he goes into the sewers and stuff. And all of a sudden, like 40 minutes in, Michael Myers finally shows up. He doesn't show up. It's an hour. This movie's like an hour and 50 minutes. He doesn't show up until the 40-minute mark almost.
Right.
Jeez. And all he does is he grabs this kid, and there's some kind of like psychic thing, whether, you know, he sees himself in this kid or sees the evil in this kid or something, and he doesn't kill him. Like, he just like, there's some kind of like super. Yeah.
I think that's the supernatural part where it's like, okay,
it
whatever.
Like they tried to humanize him in this one, and then all of a sudden, out of the blue, they start with this, like, you know, this supernatural stuff. And like Laurie Strode is just so self-righteous in this. She's like, oh, well, she's writing a memoir about all this stuff, which I mean, she deserves to, but it just, the way that they put her in this movie, it just, I don't know, man. It's more focused on Allison and Corey in this love story than a Halloween movie, if that makes sense, because more than half the movie is about those two.
It doesn't seem like it's real, like,
at the
about
very end,
the original.
Like the part that I was looking forward to was like a 15 to 20 minute afterthought after this whole thing. And like, I think they sat down and rewrote some scenes during COVID whenever you couldn't, you know, whenever everything was shut down. But
the
like,
reshoots were wild back then.
Yeah. And it just, I don't know. I don't like it. I fucking hate it, dude. But I don't know. There's just, it irritated me, and I can't seem to want to go back and rewatch it. Like I said, the DJ booth kill was pretty cool, but you know, other than that, there's really no reason for me to go back and watch it.
Right. It just doesn't do it.
It doesn't do it for me. Like, I would rather watch any of the movies above it than Halloween Ends, because they got Michael Myers to be like such a bitch in this one. Like, I know he took a hell of a beating in Halloween Kills. They let this Corey kid like tackle him to the ground and steal his mask and like all this other stuff. Like, Michael Myers doesn't do anything in this movie until the very end. He brings one of these like kids that were bullying him. Corey brings like this kid down to the sewers, and Michael kills him. And like, you can see him kind of like getting the groove back of things. It just
breaking that rust off.
Yeah. And like, you can see like the music. That's the other thing that I will give it credit for. The music is really good because John Carpenter did the soundtrack, I think, with his son and his nephew. I can't remember exactly who it was, but they made the soundtrack for 2018 Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends, and I have the vinyls for all three. But like, the music that they did helps, because John Carpenter is a fucking masterpiece. Creates a masterpiece, I should say.
He's master class. I think.
Like, he goes on tour. He goes on tour every now and then with his music, and I would love to go see it, because every time he makes a score to a movie, it's always phenomenal. Like, I have the Halloween 2 vinyl, I have Halloween 3, and I have 2018 Kills and Ends. I'm working on getting the rest of them, but you know, scalpers are fucking assholes, so you're looking at like $90 for one of the vinyls, and it's like, come on, no.
Yeah, vinyls just boomed lately. I don't know. It's like the last 3 years, everyone's like, I gotta have vinyls. Like,
yeah, I was one of them.
You know,
I was one
whatever,
of those assholes that had vinyl. But yeah, that's my tier list.
Well, yeah.
I don't know. People can put their tier lists up or tell me what I did wrong. I don't know. I just thought it was cool to just sit back and talk about some of these
Screw 'em,
movies.
dude.
Next
Who
time we
cares?
do a video, you need to talk to me about something that I don't know.
Yeah, we'll do it, dude. We'll do like a Star Wars one or something.
I know Star Wars, probably not as good as you, but you know.
I'll fill you in.
Yeah, please.
Fill you in
'cause
on that good lore.
There's so much stuff on Disney Plus now. I can't keep up with the shit.
It's hard.
But
It
yeah,
is.
like,
That's how I
subscribe,
feel with the
do all
Halloween
that shit.
Yeah, hit the
we
eat
could
the
come
bell.
together as boys and do a fish at the aquarium tier list.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah,
down.
yeah. Or
It's just like name our favorite fish, where we
Yep.
put what,
what we would name them.
frogs,
Frogs.
Yo, frog list, dude.
frog tier list.
No, dude.
Oh, God. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and call it. Like, comment, subscribe, do whatever. I'll put my boy's YouTube channel in the description so you can subscribe to him. He's cooler than I am, so he probably deserves your subscription more than I do.
Oh, no, but that.
But yeah,
Hell yeah,
that's it. So
Yes.
bye.